You ever have one of those days where everything's supposed to go right? Like, the big day, the culmination of years of sacrifice, sweat, missed birthdays, second mortgages, and late-night ramen while praying the lights stay on. And then one person just opens their mouth, and the whole room turns cold? Yeah, I remember that day like it was stitched into my spine. It was supposed to be simple. A toast, a handshake, sign on the dotted line, and walk out with a $900 million merger in our pocket. The culmination of everything my company had built from scratch. We weren't some flash-in-the-pan app startup. We were a logistics machine. Warehouses in 17 states, 24/7 routes, union-strong drivers, real infrastructure. And now, this old money firm, a Hartwell Group, wanted to fold us into their empire. I had reservations, sure. Their board smelled like cigar lounges and oil portraits. But it was business. Until it wasn't. See, before the papers, before the photos, I invited my mother to the final meeting. She didn't ask to come, truth be told. She was nervous about it, but I wanted her there. Always said if I ever made it, she'd be at the front row of the victory lap. She raised me by herself in West Dayton, worked 3 cleaning jobs, took the bus to scrub offices downtown, always came home with blisters and a smile. And she always wore these wide-brimmed hats. Said they made her feel like a lady, even when her feet ached. That day she had on her best one, white, with a blue ribbon to match her heels. She pulled up to the Hartwell Country Club in a black SUV I'd sent, stepped out with quiet pride, purse clutched, posture straight. Didn't have on any labels, but everything about her said dignity. Didn't matter. Soon as she stepped onto those marble steps, a woman in a pressed navy dress, staff, but clearly feeling powerful, stepped in front of her, like she was guarding a vault. "Deliveries go around the back," she said. My mother tilted her head, confused. "I'm here for lunch with my son, Carson Ellis." The woman didn't blink. "Then please use the rear entrance. Staff entrances are to the left." No apology. No checking the list. No curiosity, just assumption. My mother blinked slow, clenched her bag. And across the patio, mid-toast, I saw it. I saw her flinch. And I saw someone else. Victoria Hartwell, matriarch of the family, pearls draped around her neck like a noose of pride, sipping her wine, eyes narrowing. Then, loud enough for half the lawn to hear. Well, I suppose they'll let anyone in these days. Housekeepers getting invited to business luncheons now. A few chuckled. One even nodded. I didn't. I set down my glass, walked straight through polished wood doors, past canapes and murmurs, straight to my mother. "You all right?" I asked. She nodded, even though I could see her jaw trembling. "Don't make a fuss, baby." "I'm not," I said. "But I will." I turned to the woman at the door. "That's my mother, the guest of honor, and the only person here I'd consider family." The woman turned red. Victoria didn't. She was already walking off, bored of the moment she'd created. My mother reached for my hand. "Don't ruin this over me," she whispered. I kissed her hand. "You are this." And then I walked her back to the SUV, opened the door myself, helped her in. Didn't say a word. Just looked her in the eyes, then turned back to the building. Walked up those steps like they owed me answers. Because they did. Back inside, the room had gotten quieter. Not silent, just on edge. Preston, the family's legal guy, asked me if everything was all right. "No," I said, "but it will be." I walked over to the signing table, looked at the mountain of paperwork, the bottle of Dom chilling in a bucket like it had already been earned. Then I looked at Victoria. She still hadn't blinked. I didn't sit. I just said, calm and clear, "I'm not signing this deal." The room froze. Someone coughed. Victoria tilted her head. "Is this a negotiation tactic?" "No," I said. "This is a standard." Preston looked nervous. "Carson, we've invested millions. You can take me to court," I said. "Explain to a judge how humiliating my mother mid-event was part of your due diligence." Victoria rolled her eyes. She wasn't invited properly. I didn't recognize her. You recognized her just fine. You saw a black woman in a hat you didn't approve of, and you assumed she cleans your toilet. Don't be emotional. I leaned forward. I built this company driving trucks at 3 in the morning. I cut my own checks from a plastic folding table. I watched my mom clean your buildings so I could go to school. You think I'm emotional? No. I'm awake. And I'm done. I walked out. Left the papers. Left the champagne. Left the so-called legacy deal. Next morning, I didn't post about it. Didn't leak anything. But someone did. A server, maybe. Or an investor's assistant. All I know is, by noon, the story was everywhere. CEO walks out on $900 million deal after mother insulted by Hartwell family. By 5 p.m., I had interview requests, investors panicking, and a whole segment on cable news asking if I'd made a political statement or a personal one. I didn't answer right away. But that weekend, I held a press conference. Small room, no backdrop, just me and a mic. I said, I didn't walk away from money. I walked away from rot. I walked away from silence. That Monday, the Hartwells filed a complaint for breach. I got letters from lawyers, and I got texts from warehouse workers I hadn't seen in years. One said, "You didn't just stand up for your mom. You stood up for ours too." That one hit hard. But pressure built. My cousin Marcus, who co-founded the company with me, pulled me aside. "You didn't ask us. You made the call solo." "I had to," I said. "You didn't. You chose to. And now we're bleeding accounts." He was right. Some of our funding lines got pulled. The Hartwells had reach. They whispered doubts into the ears of banks, sent quiet emails to strategic partners. A few even accused me of playing the race card to dodge scrutiny. That's when Nia, our marketing lead, stepped in. "Let them come," she said. "But we tell our story, our way." She launched a campaign. No slogans, just videos. Drivers talking about getting holiday bonuses. Single moms we'd hired for admin work sharing how we offer childcare. Real people, real lives. But the biggest moment came from my mom. She agreed reluctantly to sit for a short video. Just her, in her living room. She said, "Some money comes with chains. And I'm too old to wear chains." It exploded. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't mine anymore. It was everyone's. Past maids, janitors, warehouse hands. Folks who'd been called to help like it was their name. They spoke up. And the Hartwells? They tried to counter. Leaked docs, whisper campaigns, even floated a story that I'd walked away from a merger once before. But every move just made them look worse. Then one letter arrived handwritten, neat cursive, from a woman named Lillian Pierce. Her father was a gardener at the Hartwell estate for 30 years. She said, "I saw what they did to my dad. I never thought anyone would say no to them. Until you." I cried in my car reading that. Weeks passed. We didn't collapse. In fact, we gained ground. New clients, better ones. People who wanted to build something clean. We launched the Ellis Initiative health screenings, tuition help, childcare funds for every worker in our network. Named it after my mom. And then, one afternoon, I got a voicemail from a voice I hadn't heard since my dad's funeral. My uncle, James. Said he saw the press. Said he was sorry for the silence, for leaving. "You sound like your father," he said. I didn't call back right away, but I did eventually. We talked. Not about business. About fishing. About barbecue. About how sometimes you lose things so deep, you don't know they're missing until someone says your name. Legacy's not what you leave behind. It's what you refuse to let die. And me? I'll always remember the day I turned down $900 million. Not because of what I lost, but because of what I kept. Now I want to hear from you. Would you have walked away? Do you think standing up for dignity is worth risking it all? Or do you believe business should stay separate from personal values? Let me know in the comments. And if this story made you feel something, share it. Because silence doesn't change anything. But stories? Stories can move mountains.